All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the final pre-draft episode of Soul of the Skull. As you can see, there's just a couple of us in here today, but that is absolutely okay. So we are going to begin. We're going to do something we have never done before in a little bit here. We have whipped up a mock draft simulator. We've never done it here, and we're going to do a mock draft sim and try it out. I think is it 7 rounds? Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, so we're just going to figure it out, and that's that. As far as an update, hopefully we're going to be live on Thursday for the draft, just like last year. Hopefully we can start. Draft starts at 7, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
around that
maybe
time.
some.
Around that time.
I was gonna say maybe we can start at 6:37, somewhere in that window, and a live reaction to the picks and the draft and the Vikings and the whole NFL and whatnot. So that's that. And this draft is about to begin. So we're going to do it. So we're going to try this. Then we're going to talk about if there's any, we're going to talk about some other Vikings things and make some predictions. And yeah, okay. So here it goes. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it's me. All right. I have a trade offer, but I bet you can't see that.
Yeah. And obviously, this isn't really going to look like how the draft goes because look at you at 11 with Jaden Daniels on the board.
Mm-hmm. So I've got a trade offer, pick 11 and pick 232, which is probably a 7th round pick, late 6th into the 7th. And the Rams are offering me the 19th pick and the 52nd pick. That would be a 2nd round pick. If this was, that's the only offer I have. If this was real, obviously, what should I do? Because it's not really realistic because Jaden Daniels is still there. What's true? Let's think here.
We live in a world of make-believe, so
we do. All right, I'm going to reject their offer and take Jaden Daniels, and then we'll see what happens at the 23rd pick. All right. There we go.
If that were the case, it's huge.
Yeah.
In this, I'm the Carolina Panthers, and they obviously don't own a first-round pick.
Okay, so I'm at 23, and I've gotten another offer. The Cardinals have – I have 2 offers. First offer, Cardinals – or so I would give up the 23rd pick and the 129, which is 4th round, maybe I'd say. And they are offering me the 27th pick, so move back 4 spots in the 66th, which is probably the beginning of the 3rd round. That's actually not a bad trade. I might do that one. The other offers from the Browns, I would send away 23, and they would send me 54, 85, as well as next year's 2nd and 3rd. I'm going to move back 4 spots, and we're going to do the Cardinals trade. We're going to accept that one. So they took – now I have 3 offers. The first one is from the Broncos. They want me to move back almost 50 spots. Not doing that. The Texans want me to move back 15 spots. No. Yeah, 15, and they would also give me the 59th pick. And the Browns, again, another offer. We're going to stick and pick. We're going to reject them all. So on the board, look in here, we have got Byron Murphy the second. See who else I kind of know out of here. A couple of receivers, a couple of the late round quarterbacks, or not late round quarterbacks, the late first round quarterbacks, but we've already got Jaden Daniels. I think that really Byron Murphy is just kind of the way to go here. I think that'd be the best pick. All right, so we're going to go Byron Murphy the second.
All right. No, we're going to reject that. Obviously, the Panthers need everything, and we're going to stick with the offensive side of the ball. Let's see. Is there any good defensive players still on the board? We're going to go with the white boy, Lad McCockney. Great. 2 trade offers. There's a lot there. We'll take Seattle.
Oh, there we are back to back.
Don't see too many guys here. I'm going to go Jeremiah Trotter because I know his name. He's a very good player. To get him in the 3rd round would be a steal.
All right, now it's my turn, and it's a Clemson fella, so I knew that would pique your interest there. All right, I've got offers from the Broncos as well as the Rams. Rams like to trade. Let's think about this here. All right, let's look at who's on the board here. I already took Byron Murphy the 2nd. There's some more defensive tackles on the board. I see an Alabama edge rushers on the board there. A trade isn't a bad idea. I'm going to trade with the Broncos. I'm going to move back 10 picks from 66 to 76 and acquire the 121, which is probably a 4th round pick. As of right now, the Vikings only have 4 picks left in this draft, so we're going to take that one. Never mind. It timed me out. So we took a corner from Georgia, which is okay too. I didn't realize there was a time limit. Oh, Spencer Rattler just went off the board.
I saw that. We're going to reject all these. I think I know what I did wrong. My team abbreviation was Joel. I thought that was just... That's probably why you got confused earlier.
It's all right. Sorry if you guys can hear that. There is someone vacuuming outside this room right now.
You know, with a team like this, we need a lot of help all over the place. And thinking offensive lineman, to be honest, I don't really know who's good this late. But we're just going to take Blake Fisher.
All right.
Try to give Bryce Young some help.
Oh, back-to-back picks for you. Your boy Will Shipley's on the board.
We got
Blake Corum, I see there.
We could go Shipley, but I like this guy right here, Braylon Allen. Oh, I mean, I would be dumb not to take this trade. Look at that.
Hold on, let me look. Holy smokes, 2 picks for 5.
All in this draft, so we're obviously going to do that trade.
Yeah. And I am on the board. Okay, this is a good
Shipley
trade.
Went to Tennessee.
I've got an offer here from the Chargers to move back 2 spots, and they would also give me 181. So we're going to take that. 2 spots. Yep. I have another offer from... I'm going to reject it. I had one from the Eagles. Not going to take it. I think the Vikings in need of a running back in the mid rounds. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this might be a Blake Corum kind of a pick.
Sure up some more running backs, I guess. Tiptoe.
We've got back to back again for like the 5th time.
Here, let's see. Eric All, he's a tight end from Iowa. That can only mean one thing. He's good. We're going to draft him. Elsewhere, I see that McCaffrey boy, Christian McCaffrey's younger brother, Luke.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is he? Oh, I see him right there. By the way, that tight end that you just drafted, the Vikings actually visited with him. So they're familiar with him. I know you're the Panthers, but just figured I'd point that out for any fans.
All right. I'm going to have to go with another Clemson guy, Xavier Thomas. He's a freaky good edge rusher. Be a great 5th round pickup. We're drafting again. We need help everywhere. I'm going to go Quinn Newsome of Nebraska because I actually heard of him before.
All right, I'm up next. I've got no trade offers. We got a center is the top player on the board. That's actually not a bad idea right now. The Vikings could use some depth, especially on that interior offensive line. My next pick is 167 after this. Right now we're at 157, so 10 picks away. We'll see if he makes it. All right, I'm going to go with this guy. I'm going to go with the Wisconsin center, and then we'll see if there is a receiver maybe on the board for my next selection. I got a trade offer from the Dolphins, but I'm going to reject that. We've got Theo Johnson on the board. I see Isaiah Davis, the South Dakota State running back. Fun fact, my sister actually lives a couple houses down from him. Let's look at the receivers on the board here. See if we can look at any information about. Oh, not really. They don't have any information about any of the guys. We're going to go with the guy on top. He's got a nice name coming out of Holy Cross, Jalen Coker. That's a good name.
Oh. We're going to draft the project, Joe Milton here. Maybe convert him to tight end at some point.
He can, wait, was it? Who am I thinking of that just went? Was it Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Tim Tebow experience for the Panthers and Joe Milton.
You get another offensive lineman here.
All right, I'm up now. Let's look at what I've hit so far. Me as the Vikings, we've got a quarterback, a defensive tackle, a corner, running back, a center, and a receiver. Maybe if there's a guard, we could roll with a guard too. We'll see if there's anyone on the board. We've got a Michigan guard. Too bad we don't have Sam O on the podcast. I could talk about it. Ladarius Henderson is on the board. He's coming out of Michigan. 6'4", 309. We're gonna go with him for the sake of Sam O. And just like that, I'm up again. Let's see. We're gonna go with this defensive tackle. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his name. He's the number 2 best player on the board right now, ranked at 154. Coming out of Alabama, 6'4", 297. we're going to go with him. Maybe he can become a rotational kind of a player. So we're going to do that. You have 2 picks left, and I also have 2 picks left. Actually, oh yeah, that's correct. No, you have 3 picks left, I think. I see Brevin Spanford just went off the board.
Dude,
former Gopher.
I didn't see that. Right, Jacksonville. Trevor will set him straight.
All right, I'm up. We got a few players we got some dudes on the board here. I see there's a tight end out of Tennessee, McAllen Castles. The Vikings met with him, so they're familiar with that guy. I guess we'll do it. There's no harm in that. They like drafting late round tight ends. Nick Muse, for instance. We've got we got a few safeties on the board. We've got a safety from A&M, Washington, and TCU on the board. Damani Richardson, Dominique Hampton, and Mark Perry are all there. I'm gonna go with the TCU guy, Mark Perry here. I like the name Perry, probably just because I like Steve Perry a lot. So we're gonna go with Mark Perry.
Good rationale behind the selection.
I got one. Kind of weird reasons. A lot of these are just off names I like.
Last pick, we're going to go to our defense and special teams. We're going to go with the punk god himself, Troy Taylor.
The Iowa punter. Wow.
Here's how my draft went.
You drafted a lot of players. I drafted 10. You got, how many you get? 8, 11? Was it 11 something?
1, 2, 3, 4,
12.
5. Yeah.
And you acquired
a first round pick and a 4th. I didn't even realize I did that.
What a draft.
And then obviously the one we care about is what you just did with the Vikings. Hypothetically throw in Jane Daniels. Blake Corum. Be funny if Corum and McCarthy both got drafted to the Vikings.
Yeah, I guess this wasn't the most realistic draft of all time, but if this, say, became realistic, this would be a very good draft for the Vikings, hitting on the positions. And
the first 2 for sure,
especially Jaden Daniels and Byron Murphy II there.
You got 1 offensive lineman, 2 offensive linemen. That helps. So for the Panthers, you got a receiver, freak running back, another tight end. All the depth pieces. Is a team that needs a lot, so who knows?
So with that, I suppose we can just kind of, look at the Vikings almost and just see what positions are kind of need and of how high priority is positions. Obviously, quarterback is, I think we could all probably say, is the highest position of value, as they don't have a long-term starter in place right now. But after that, there are some other, obviously, positions that they need help with on both sides of the ball. So I guess, in your opinion, we'll start with you. What do you say is the most important position of need coming out of the draft that the Vikings don't have right now that is not a quarterback?
I would just flip it to the defensive side of the ball. If the Vikings were to potentially get Byron Murphy in the first round, if they decide not to trade up, that'd be a huge get to shore up that interior of the defensive line. But we say it all the time, cornerback. That's a huge need for this team. If Cooper DeJean were to fall to 27, if the Vikings weren't to trade up, or if the Vikings trade up, but then potentially trade back into the first round to try to get a guy like Cooper DeJean or a talented corner. So I'm just thinking on the defensive side of the ball is where we really need to start shoring things up. But Offensively, a couple depth pieces with O-line, obviously. Maybe another young receiver. Who knows what the draft holds?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, for me, besides quarterback, the number one would be that defensive tackle, defensive line, anywhere in there. After that, I would say it would be probably offensive guard and center, that interior offensive line. It's just such an unknown for the Vikings right now. If we look at their roster, they have, I'm getting it up right here. They've got Ed Ingram. Obviously, he's going to be your starting right guard, most certainly. He's been for 2 years now. As far as the left guard, there really is no starting left guard. They gave Blake Brandel a big contract, so it could be him because signs kind of point to that. And I know a lot of fans want Dalton Reisner back. Dalton Reisner, I guess, as far as that's concerned, there's really been no steam with Dalton Reisner coming back. And I think it's just because he was, how do we say it? He wasn't the best pass blocker, but in his whole career, he's never been. So it's not like a new thing. And I think the Vikings saw that, and this isn't an indictment on fans, but maybe fans don't quite understand that, is that he seems like he's a really good player, but they don't notice that kind of a thing. Maybe it won't be as much of a big deal, though, if they don't have a guy like Kirk Cousins anymore. If they have a more mobile quarterback that doesn't stand in the pocket, it's not quite as big of a problem if pass protection is not as superb as you're hoping it is. But so that's that. And then as far as, center's kind of weird because they have Garrett Bradbury. He just signed an extension. I should see how long it takes it through. I believe that was last offseason. Maybe was it the offseason before? He signed a fairly discounted contract with the Vikings. He is currently under contract through 2025, so he's got this season as well as next season under contract. He's accounting against the cap this upcoming year. He is $5.8 million approximately against the cap. Next year, it's about 6.1. And then he's got a couple years of just void after that. So he's got 2 more years under contract. We'll have to see if they look to go younger because Garrett Bradbury isn't quite the player they've been hoping he was ever going to be. And I guess he was just kind of an undersized center, but they were hoping they could develop him. Never really worked out. And we'll have to see what they do there. As we look around the rest of the team, obviously, you just touched on it a little bit. Receivers a position of need as well. Sure, they've got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Behind that, everything else is just kind of a blur. I mean, they got Brandon Powell, he's just kind of there. I mean, he's the punt returner. Don't really know what he is at this point anymore. They brought in Trent Sherfield, which to me, I'm interested to see what they do with him. To me right now, his role seems kind of unclear with this team of, is he going to be a kicker, a punt returner, or is he going to actually get snaps on offense? What's he kind of going to do? He's been a kind of impactful player for the Bills, but not really. He's just kind of a guy, And then, the Vikings have Jalen Nailor, who's showed flashes, but has also had a tough time staying on the field too. And especially last year, he came back from injury, and there was expectation that this could be Jalen Nailor's breakout time, but it never really happened. So that third wide receiver spot's really interesting because it seems like, to me, they have a bunch of like wide receiver 4s, but there's no real wide receiver 3. And whether they try to convert someone into being a wide receiver 3 or whether they opt in the draft and go a mid-round guy, maybe like 4th, 5th round and try something like that. We'll just have to see what they do. So lots of positions. And then obviously if you look at depth, you can find they need depth at pretty much every position, but that's also pretty much every team in the NFL. You just need depth, injuries, everything. Yeah. So that's kind of that. We'll just see how that goes. Next thing I guess we can say, we didn't talk about this on the podcast last week. Well, we kind of did. The Patriots have officially said they're open for business. So their de facto GM, Elliot Wolf, said that. I believe that was yesterday, maybe the day before. He said, yes, we're open for business. And we talked about this a little in person when we saw each other last night. I think that if someone asked me right now, I think the Vikings are going to have a top 5 pick in place before 7 o'clock Thursday. I think they're already going to be up there. So we'll just have to see. That'd be really interesting if that happened. In fact, for all we know, the Vikings could already have a trade worked out now, and it just hasn't been officially announced and reported to the league and whatnot. That would be interesting too. So we'll just have to see how that is. If the Vikings traded up, I think they'd be most likely. I think, oh man, that's tough. I think their most likely trade up is 3 with the Patriots. It just makes sense. It just kind of makes sense. The Patriots don't want to stick around there because they could go top. I mean, their whole team is a problem right now. And if you go to 4, it's the Cardinals at 4, and they could go with Marvin Harrison Jr., or they might just, I think the Cardinals would be better off waiting until Thursday to make a trade, because then there'll probably be multiple teams on the phone saying, we'll give you this, we'll give you this. And then they can just go with the best offer available. And the Vikings don't want to trade up to 5 with the Chargers, for the same reason. But then also, what if those first 4 picks are quarterbacks? Now you're out of luck. And so we'll see what happens, but that's just a little insight into what could happen. As always, we will be prepared here in case they make a groundbreaking trade between now and Thursday. We'll try and be as ready as possible to whip something up. Otherwise, we'll be live on Thursday and you'll get a live reaction if that happens. If not, we'll still be happy with anything they do. So that's kind of that. I'm just thinking here. There wasn't really, I guess, a real outline, I guess, we had really for today's. Was just kind of talk about whatever. But I just thought about this so we can say it. So yesterday, I'll pull up a picture here. The Detroit Lions just unveiled new uniforms. We can just look at them and see if there's anything to say about them. I'm pulling up a picture right now. All right, here we go. All right, I got one. Was that an Arby's cup?
It was.
You go to Arby's?
I went to Arby's, yeah.
Oh, who goes to Arby's? Interesting. All right, I'll see if I can actually enlarge in this photo.
Just in the mood.
I don't know if it works. There. That's about as good as we'll get here. Oh, actually, hang on. I just realized that didn't work like I thought it would. Hang on. Here we go. Now it's pretty enlarged and zoomed in. So here's the Lions' new uniforms they just unveiled. They brought them out yesterday. It seems like the fan reception has been pretty good. A lot of fans seem to like them, between Lions fans and just football fans in general. A lot of people think these are nice uniforms.
The new light blue helmets look sick.
The one with the black. Yeah, those look really cool. In a primetime game, those would look sweet. So I guess we can just look at each of them, say what we kind of think. I will be honest, I actually kind of liked the Lions' old uniforms. A lot of people really didn't. I thought they didn't look bad. I was all right with them. The silver ones were kind of weird, but the blue ones and the white ones I thought actually looked decent. Here's the one thing I'll say. The white ones look pretty good, I think. One big upgrade, those blue face masks look great. They pop really well with the helmet stripe and the logo. So that was a great choice to move to those face masks. The white uniform, I think it looks pretty good. The dots are a little weird to me, but whatever. That's just one thing. The one thing I'll say, I don't know if I haven't seen this at all. Maybe other people have thought it. I'm not a big fan of the blue ones. And I think it's because, to me, they look a lot like the Seattle Seahawks ones, the throwback ones they have.
I see
the
it.
The design is very similar. So when I saw that, I was like, I mean, obviously they're not the same team, but I was like, that looks a little weird because they look pretty much, the design itself is very similar between the two. So that's the one thing. Those black ones I think look fantastic as alternates. Maybe wear them once or twice a year. And no more than that, or else I think they would lose kind of the touch they have. Yeah, those black face masks and the black logo and the stripe, that looks awesome. So, yeah, the blue one to me is kind of The white one I think looks nice, especially with those face masks. I think the blue coincides well with the shoulder stripes. or maybe it's just the way Jared Goff is standing. Makes it look really nice. And then those black ones are really good. But yeah, I guess if you have any thoughts on it, you can share as well if you got anything.
No, not much.
So this is just the beginning of uniform unveil season. The Broncos are also unveiling new uniforms on, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. And then the Texans are also unveiling new uniforms Tuesday or Wednesday. It's the day after. I just forget which is which. I don't know if you've seen it around Twitter or Reddit or whatnot, whatever. I've seen some leaks of the Texans ones.
Yeah, I've seen the leak of the helmet.
But I wasn't a fan of the current ones either. They're just kind of not that good to me. But we'll see if those are the real ones they actually come out with. As far as the Broncos, I've seen quite a few different like leaks and mocks, so I really don't know what it's going to be because I've seen a few around. So we'll see. It's good though. I'm not a huge fan of the current Broncos ones. The round numbers feel a little weird. It's just, I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but it's true. So that's that. Maybe someday we'll do another. I don't think you were even on this podcast yet. One day we did a ranking uniforms episode. This would have been last year, and I was going to say that might have been before your time here, but we can do it again sometime. See that. We can do a ranking alternate uniforms. That'd actually be pretty cool. We should do that. That's a good old idea. So that's that. Let's think. What else has been going around football lately? What major things have been popping around the football sphere? There's been obviously a lot of Vikings trade and draft stuff, but at this time of year, kind of hard to know what to believe and what not to believe, what's real and what's just kind of a smokescreen. And teams are saying one player is bad and falling down the board, but that's just because they wanted to get to them or whatnot. So hard to know what's real, what's not real at this type of year. It's kind of a hurricane of just crap floating around that you just have to pick what debris is you choose to read and whatnot. But we'll see. Thursday is going to be a fun time. I've been looking forward to it for, honestly, weeks now, and it's fun to think that it's 6 days away from now, is that we're going to get one of the best days and nights of the whole year. So, yeah, then the schedule comes out pretty soon, too. That's usually the first or second week of May, usually on a Thursday. That kind of starts coming out. Usually there's some leaks beforehand. I kind of follow those, so yeah, that's that, I guess. Let's think. What else is going on around the football sphere? If we have anything else really that major going on.
Not that I can think of.
Maybe we'll hold it. Obviously, we're going to hold an episode Thursday. We've talked about that. Don't know yet about the rest of the weekend. Maybe we'll do something on Friday night. If people are around, maybe we can do something Friday night, just like a recap of what happened Friday. It depends how late Friday night goes, too. I don't know. I guess I don't remember in past years. Usually it's somewhere in like the 10 o'clock hour, isn't it? It's kind of usually the first round is like 3 hours, maybe. That's just estimation, but that's like from what I remember. The second round starts at 6 p.m. Central instead of 7. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we can do something early on Saturday. I'll be busy during the day and evening Saturday, but maybe we can do something before that. And then obviously not next week, but the week after, we'll do like a whole draft recap and look at a bunch of stuff. So that's kind of that. Anything else football, or should we just kind of keep rolling?
Just go into predictions.
We'll keep rolling. So here is the spreadsheet, and I had the roster up from earlier. This cap number is, it was updated, and then the Vikings released a depth guy yesterday, so I no longer know if it's updated. So we'll look here. It is currently not, so it's going to go down by probably only a couple 100,000 because it was just a depth player that they cut. So that's that. Also interesting, so a couple player uniform numbers came out the other day, kind of got reported. And an interesting one is down here. They just signed him. Shaquille Griffin is going to wear number 1. I think that might look fire. I don't know if we've seen really the Vikings have really any single-digit corners really at all. I mean, wasn't Cam Dantzler 3 for
Mm-hmm.
I remember, he was 27 his rookie year and maybe his second year too, and then he switched to 3. So that was that. But yeah, we haven't really seen many single digit. Obviously, now we have Mekhi Blackman as 5, but when he started as a rookie, he was 11 last year, and then I think he switched at the beginning of the year. Was that? So yeah, that's kind of that. I think we can keep kind of rolling around now. We look at, here's the prospect visits again. The Vikings met with Jaden Daniels last night. They did not have dinner per report. People thought there was going to be a dinner. There was not. They just kind of chatted with him and whatnot. So that's that. Here is, as far as I know, the latest updates on players. Sometimes they're still leaking out. I saw one this morning that just kind of snuck out. So I guess someone can just kind of look at this. And that's, yeah, that. So those are all the players that have seen reports that the Vikings have met with. And I'm sure there's more that we don't know, but that's just to our knowledge. Over here, we see the draft picks. Again, the Vikings hold 2 in the first, and then nothing. As of right now, they have no picks on day 2 at all, as they sent their second-round pick to Houston a few weeks or a month back, and then the third-round pick was part of the TJ Hawkinson trade last year. Well, that was like a year and a half ago now. The Vikings have a 4th, 2 5ths, a 6th, and 2 7ths. So there you go. That's that. We look over here. We've got our predictions. As people can see, nothing came off the board, but there will be a lot of stuff coming off the board next week. Maybe before the episode, maybe we can do, maybe before like the first pick is unveiled, we can do our last round, each person 3 predictions, like night of. That'd be kind of fun. Some like live take predictions. We'll see. We'll try and make the episode as fun as possible for us and for fans alike, so that it's just a good time for everyone. Some of these predictions, if anyone reads these, some of these predictions seem like kind of like simple. Like I made a prediction here. I was looking at, I think yesterday, the Vikings will draft a quarterback in the 1st or 2nd round in 2024. Like now that looks like a huge slam dunk of a prediction or like a huge layup. But back when that prediction was made, it was not. That was months ago, probably before the season ended is probably when I made that. And there are just some other predictions on here that look really like dumb now, but maybe sometime we'll put the dates of when they were made. That might help. Then people will know kind of when some of these were made. Like, yeah, I guess we'll just looking around here, see when some of these other ones are. See if there's any other like weird ones that look like easy ones that really aren't. Like some here, I made a prediction way back. JJ McCarthy will be selected in the top 10. And at the time that seemed like a ludicrous prediction, but now it's like, it would be surprising if it doesn't happen. But yeah, that was like months ago when he was like a borderline 1st round, 2nd round pick. And then I just came up and said, hey, all right, he's going to be a top 10 pick. You said he would be a 2nd round pick. That was also a long time ago. So you can tell how old that one was. And yeah, we'll see. Like, yeah, Sam O said he'd be a 1st round pick. That was many months ago when he said that one. Yeah, we'll see. For months and months now, we've been memeing on Big Lou for his prediction. Justin Jefferson will be traded before the draft is over. Well, in a week, we will know whether that prediction is green or red finally, after so long of clowning on him for making that. And could happen. We'll just have to see. All options are on the table for the Vikings right now. Well, that's that. So here we go. I think, yeah, since nothing came off the board, we don't have anything to go through. We're just going to look here. Here's the current stats right now. As can be seen by the date, the last time numbers were updated was on March 19th, a whole year or a whole month ago. So no predictions have come off the board in the past month for the NFL. So that's that. Currently, I'm 2 for 2, followed by Sam O. He has got 20% on the season. You and Sam Z both have not had a correct prediction, and Big Lou has had nothing come off the board yet. Again, as you can see, the sample size is super small. So after the draft, it'll be a lot more reasonable as far as the numbers and whatnot. As you can see, last season, everyone had upwards of 50 to 70 predictions come off. So, and eventually we'll get to that number. So That's that. I guess I'm going to start with my first prediction. So I said my first prediction, I made these yesterday, so let me remember what it is. Oh, I remember what it was. My first prediction is about the order of quarterbacks going off the board. I said, so here's what I said. The 4 quarterbacks drafted in order, I spiced it up here. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, Drake May. Do I think that's what's going to happen? I don't know. It's all just kind of a guessing game right now at this point, especially for me between that 3rd and 4th between JJ and Drake May. It's just a guessing game of who to put. I thought the prediction would be a little more fun if we went JJ McCarthy before Drake May, but we'll just have to see. So there's my first prediction. That will be the 4 quarterbacks drafted in order for this draft. Any thoughts on that, or I guess not really?
I guess we'll just have to wait and see, to be honest.
We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of predictions going off the board next week. I love Sam Z's prediction. I was just reading this one. Caleb Williams will not go number 1 overall. That was also quite a while ago now. He said that. Probably will be right, but you never know.
All right. Non-football related. I think the Timberwolves are going to lose to the Phoenix Suns in 6 games.
You think it'll be exactly 6?
That's what the prediction says.
Okay. I was making sure it was exactly 6. I was talking to you last night. Yeah, I wanted to make some non-football ones. I just wanted to start making some Wolves predictions. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough first round draw. But I mean, at least the Wolves are the home team in this one. I think. I'm not going to say that. I might make it into a bonus prediction at the end of this episode. So we'll see. It's a Wolves prediction, so we're going to do that. And we'll talk about how we want to do it. All right, my second prediction was there will be at least 5 trades on Thursday. So if a trade happened today, tomorrow, Monday, it does not count for this prediction. There will be at least 5 trades on Thursday. And yes, it does count if it's before the draft on Thursday, say 3 p.m, the Vikings trade up. It does count. It's just on the day Thursday from 12 a.m., 11:59 p.m. There will be at least 5 trades in that span. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I think I looked last year. There was 6 trades, I believe. But yeah, we'll just have to see how many there are. All right, we got Matt over here for his second.
I think Aaron Jones will have 1,500 yards from scrimmage this season with the Vikings.
Yeah, I think he'll get a lot of playing time. Some Packers have talked about his injury history, which I'm not super familiar with. I know he was out for a little portion of last year. Do you know how injury?
He's kind of injury prone, but
yeah. I guess we'll just have to see. But I mean, it's no different than Dalvin Cook up until kind of his last season with the Vikings, but then he didn't play as much, so that probably factored into it. This could happen. That's a good one. We'll have to see how much they rotate Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones. All right, so I'm gonna black this. It's blank for now, but I'm gonna make a bonus prediction here after this. I said the Vikings' first selection in the draft this year will wear a single-digit number, and it does not count when they go on stage and hold up the jersey with their name and the number 1. That does not count. When the numbers are unveiled in a month or 2 or whenever over the summer, whenever it happens, the first pick the Vikings select, whether it's a quarterback or a non-quarterback, it will be a single-digit number between 1 and 10. It will not be in the double.
It'll be between 1 and 9.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. It'll be between 1 and 9. 1 through 9.
Or 0.
Or 0. Imagine a quarterback wearing 0. That would be crazy. I mean, the Vikings don't have a number 0 right now because it was Davenport and bye-bye to him. Ivan Pace could be. That'd actually be crazy, though. Jaden Daniels rolls up in number 0 for the Vikings. I don't know what to think about that.
Sounds dumb, but
So we'll just have to see. So there's my 3, and then I'm going to make another one after this.
all right. This one pertains to someone on this podcast. I think Big Lou will be under 50% on his predictions this year.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Nothing like a good person show-related prediction. It's only ever happened a couple times before. I made one. I think you made one. Maybe have you ever made one before? I feel like you did maybe one.
I've made a couple. I said Sam wouldn't get his game picks in, and I was right.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one. That was a good one. So we'll just have to see. Sorry, Big Lou, but you're not on the episode to defend yourself, so you're due. You're due for this. So I'm gonna add a bonus prediction. I don't even need to. I don't know why I even blacked it. How do we do bonus predictions? Should we? Are we doing the double or nothing, or is it just?
We only did it once. We never really established anything.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it's. Can I just make it a 4th prediction then? Does that count?
That might be the easiest.
I'm just gonna make it into a 4th prediction, equal value as every other prediction. Normally we don't do this, but your Wolves one inspired me. The Timberwolves will win game 1 versus Phoenix. The Wolves will win game 1 tomorrow against the Phoenix Suns. There you go. Write that one down.
That is tomorrow. Why did I think today was Thursday?
Because normally we do it on Thursday.
Well, not even that. It's just we had a friend come back from Vegas, and he talked about how everything fell off since he wasn't in school. And I'm not gonna lie, we didn't have school class Tuesday, so it's really throwing a wrench in everything else.
Everything's just weird. Weird end of the semester, but we only got a couple weeks left.
One week of regular classes and then finals, which, is really to anyone.
I only have one final that last week, so.
And you said it was early.
It's on Monday at 7:30.
Yeah, so really,
I'm moving out of my dorm here already on Monday so not next week, but the week after. I'm already going to be out of here by Monday.
It's the Monday after your final. Yeah, I mean, I walk on campus sometimes. To any viewer that's watching, I'm sorry, but we're just gonna casually have a little conversation right now. So apologies to that. But yeah, I've already seen people moving out of my apartment. I've seen people moving out of dorms. So it's that time of year, unfortunately.
I mean, it's just crazy though, because it's only April 19th right now. Like, it's
early. Weird, like, when you first get into college, being done so early. The first week of May is just crazy.
I know, and yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be so nice having that extra time off. That was the one thing, obviously, for me since I just graduated from high school last year. This was my first time in college, having that one shortened summer where it's a couple weeks shorter than every other summer you've ever had because of just that transition. But now it's gonna be normal again finally, so that's a good thing. There was something I was gonna mention earlier, and it was football related, and I was just gonna do it at the end because I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't know. Maybe I'll remember. Maybe not. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. Sorry, folks, that we haven't really been having too much of a podcast lately. Obviously, we did last week. We have today here, and we're going to do one next week, and hopefully then we'll have lots of content.
There's times during the off season where things aren't buzzing, and you got to try to fill time. Obviously, after the draft and then training camps will start up and preseason football.
Yeah.
Not much happening with the UFL, to be completely honest.
I haven't watched the UFL at all.
Not much to really report on, except that kickers are pretty good in the UFL. That is one thing to note. Like, the kickers have been pretty good in the UFL.
One thing I will say that I hope we can do someday, I don't know if we ever will, but I mentioned it before. I hope that someday we can do like an all Minnesota sports type of a YouTube channel where we can talk about Twins, Wild, Wolves, Vikings, do episodes about all of them. And I thought you were going to sneeze.
I would have muted myself if I sneezed, but
I know.
I like the
I almost sneezed earlier. But no, that'd be fun if we could get to a point someday where we can do all of them. Don't know if it'll happen. Again, it obviously it's up to the person, because I think Sam O could. I think me, you, and him could honestly do it. If we tried, we could do one about them all. Big Lou, probably not. Football is his sport. Other than that, I guess he's not quite as much of a sport.
I would say if we really wanted to do baseball, that would be a for sure.
We could.
And obviously, we know other people too. If we really wanted to bring them on for other sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for any viewers that are listening to this right now, we're not saying that this is going to happen. We're just kind of having a discussion on air about this.
We're just having a dialogue.
Maybe someday, if you guys would actually want to see that, though, like, give this stream a like and like drop a comment that you want to see it, because hopefully someday that would be fun to be able to do. That is be able to talk about all the sports and stuff. So yeah, that'd be fun. I was gonna say we'd be most likely to be able to do a Twins one, probably out of them all, but that'd be cool if we could do something like that someday. So that's kind of that. I remember the other thing I was going to say, but that's all right. Let's see if there's anything else. Maybe it had to do with the spreadsheet. Maybe not. Okay. I just realized something. Do you remember if Sam Z said he was going to be around for the draft or not? Because I feel like a while back he said he wasn't. Do you recall that happening? I feel like in the group chat one time, a long time ago, he said he wasn't going to be around that day.
I don't remember.
Because I was going to say, in the spreadsheet, he has a mock draft in there that has not been unveiled, and no one's looked at it. And it'd be fun to be able to do it beforehand at some point. And I was going to say, if he's on Thursday's episode, again, we can start at, say, 6:30 or whatever, and then he can do his mock draft unveiled before the draft starts or something like that. I guess I don't even know if you're around at 6:30 already, unless maybe you might. I know you might have other things going on.
Unless we have to get suckered into news.
I'm not going to be there at news already. I know that, because I'm going home during the afternoon around like 3:30 on Thursday. So I know for sure I won't be there. But I was going to say that. Also, imagine if someday we would ever be able to just use like imagine if someday we could get under the UTVS branch, just like a sports show, like not like, Crunch Time is kind of that, but Crunch Time is more of a debate show. If we could just get like a talk show almost, that would be so cool if we were ever able to do that, and then just have like a panel, and yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know if that would ever happen if we'd ever be able to do that, but I don't know, just kind of fun things to think about, So, yeah, that's
very much it.
Yeah, that is. See if there's anything else on the spreadsheet that we missed or not really. I saw someone highlighted the Vikings Atlanta game on the Vikings schedule. I don't know who did that or why they did that.
Kirk's return.
It is the Kirk return. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. But yeah, excited for this next week. I don't know about you, but for me, like, this week is just one of my favorite weeks out of the whole year. Is this week just so much fun, so much speculation, so much theories, and so many theories and whatnot. Always fun to have this time, and then just like that, it's the draft that could change your team for really forever, honestly. And we'll just have to see. We're a week away from knowing if the Vikings have a long-term future starting quarterback, and it's fun, exciting times to think about all these scenarios. So yeah, again, as a reminder, we will be live next Thursday. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can start it around 6:37, somewhere in that time, and take us through maybe all the first round, hopefully most of it. I guess we'll just kind of have to see how it goes when we're doing it. Last year, we made it, I think, most, but not quite all the way through before we decided to just end it because there wasn't really much more to talk about. So that's that. Again, if there's an emergency episode, we'll try our best to be able to whip something up. And if the Vikings make a trade or something groundbreaking happens, we'll try to be ready for it. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Sorry, this episode was kind of random. It kind of went in every direction possible, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, and that's all right. So we're excited for this next week and what it's going to bring. As Vikings fans, as football fans, it's going to be fun times. Oh, I remembered what I was going to say. Have you ever bought an NFL jersey? No, I should reword that question. Have you ever bought anything from a third-party Walmart? Like, I don't know if you knew this. I only found this out the other day. On Walmart, third-party sellers can sell through Walmart.com, which I did not know. So the other day, I was looking for a Vikings jersey. I was shopping for, the classic uniform they just unveiled last year. I was going to try and find one of those, but obviously you don't want to pay like $120 or whatever it is these days for one. So I was looking at cheap websites, but also websites that aren't probably going to be a scam. Back in almost, let's think, when was it? I bought a Kirk Cousins Color Rush jersey. I've worn it on this podcast a few times. The purple one with the gold numbers and the gold letters and whatnot. I bought that one, and that was actually off a pretty cheap website. And I took a risk, and it worked out because it looks just like anything. It's completely fine. So that risk worked out. So I tried finding that same website again. Couldn't find it anywhere on the internet. So I don't know if it got taken down or what, but they didn't scam me. I got a good jersey out of it, or at least a pretty good jersey out of it. So I was just going to say that I bought, a couple days ago, I bought a Jordan Addison jersey off a third-party Walmart seller for like, I forgot how much it was. I could look. It was somewhere around, I think, I don't know, it was maybe a little over $50, I think. Instead of getting like $100+ jersey, I got it for like half price. So we'll see if it's a scam. We'll see if it's real. Hopefully it's real. But then I did a little research into it. And because it's through Walmart, I think I have less chance of failure. Because then it's like, if it is a scam, then you can like get like Walmart into it and then they'll handle it. So I thought that'd be better than getting it off some weird website. So we'll see if that happens. It's actually set to, for me, it's currently scheduled to arrive. It's scheduled to arrive Friday of next week. I was going to say, if it arrives before that, maybe I could wear it on the podcast, assuming it's real. But we'll just have to see how that goes. So, yeah, it is a Jordan Addison Vikings classic jersey, and I thought it looked pretty sweet. I considered buying a Kirk Cousins one, but I still couldn't find really any cheap ones. So the price hasn't come down that much, surprisingly, on Kirk Cousins uniforms. So, yeah, that's, I guess, kind of that. So, yeah, it's actually, this picture doesn't help unless I can enlarge it. It's super zoomed in, so this isn't really going to help you guys, but it's that one right there. It's that uniform. So I got one of those, and we'll have to see if it's legit or not. So, yeah, that's it. So you ever bought a uniform off like kind of a janky website before?
No.
You never have? That was my first time doing it. I know quite a fair amount of people that have, but that was my first time ever doing it. Was like, yeah, a little more than a year ago when I got my Kirk Cousins one. That was the first time I ever got a suspicious website one, but it worked. So, hey, that's that. So, yeah, otherwise, now finally, I think that about does it for this episode. So, if anyone's listening, thanks for listening to our weird rambles and directions this went, but that's just kind of how it is sometimes. So, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your afternoon, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday, maybe before, but we will for sure see you on Thursday if there's any major updates. We'll try to communicate on platforms as much as possible. I'll put things out on the YouTube page in the community post section. Maybe, I don't know, Big Lou runs the Instagram, but I don't know if he even does anything on it anymore. I don't even have Instagram anymore, so that account might have just kind of died. And we also do have a podcast Twitter account that Sam Z ran, but I don't know if he does anything on that anymore either. That also might just kind of, but we'll just have to see. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good afternoon. Peace out. And as always, SKOL Vikings.